call to order our special call meeting of Ware County Board of Commissioners of March 26, 2020 at 4:00 p.m. We'll begin with a roll call vote of commissioners, beginning with Commissioner Pope.
Present.
Commissioner Burst.
Present.
Commissioner Barnard.
Present.
Commissioner Carter. Commissioner Carter, who is absent. And the chair is present. Let's stand for the invocation that I'll do, and I'll ask Commissioner Burst if he'll do the pledge of allegiance first. Father in heaven, we just thank you, God, for another day. Lord, we're in a special time, Lord, that decisions has to be made, God. And God, we all must remember that you're in control. We're not, but you are. And God, we just keep our eyes on you, Lord, and you will steer us in the right direction. Whatever we say or do here today, Lord, will be most pleasing to you, most of all, Lord. And our main concern is the safety of our people and our community, Lord, and we won't be the leaders that will take care of our employees and our taxpayers, Lord, throughout our city and county. God, I ask you to be with us throughout this deliberation. Whatever we say or do, Lord, will be most pleasing to you. For we ask it in your wonderful, holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. You see, we kind of scattered out. There's a reason for that. We all know the reason. We have one item on our agenda, and I'm gonna.
I'd like, if we could, Mr. Chairman, on the agenda, make an amendment. One of the things that I failed to leave off of the agenda at the time that I published it was a resolution there in front of you to, it's a request by the tax commissioner, and it's for a waiver of certain penalties and interest. And I've got it to come after the first declaration. So it's really two items, if you don't mind.
That's so we're gonna leave this one off. No,
Yes, yeah, it's both of them, both documents, yes.
Okay. All right. A resolution 2020-07 local state emergency. Are you gonna address this?
The EMA director, Jonathan Daniels, is going to speak to it, but basically what this is a declaration by the Ware County Board of Commissioners to declare a local state of emergency in Ware County and also establish emergency protective orders to control the spread of COVID-19. And I'll ask Jonathan, if you don't mind, to kind of briefly go over some of the things that is mentioned.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Request today to present this declaration for our community. We've held off on this as long as I think we could, but at the present time, with the announcement yesterday of a confirmed case, and we have our second confirmed case today, and that we need to go ahead and put this declaration in motion for our community to just reinforce what the governor has already declared and what the president has declared. And that for us locally here, by us doing that, it allows us to be in line for the things that come in the future, whether it's if it's FEMA money or whatever, if the county gets into start spending money for this purpose, then this puts us in alignment to be able to get reimbursed. I didn't bring it up very copy. But just to highlight some of the things that we added in here, talk about all outdoor, indoor recreation, fitness, entertainment facilities, county parks, recreation owned by the county. These are to be closed immediately and shall remain closed until the time of the state of emergency is lifted or amended. One thing I can say, I would like to say for our community, our community has been on top of this from the get-go, and they've stepped up, they volunteered to do some of the things that we're asking them to do in this decoration. They've already been doing, for weeks now with the social distancing, restaurants closing, going to drive-through, curbside, takeout, services, adhering to the distances of what's been recommended, 6 feet. The churches have already begun to, the majority of them have already went to either some type of live streaming mechanism for their church, or they cancel church completely. And this declaration has those pieces in it, just reaffirming those things for our community. Section here that deals with the constitutional officers and their things that they need to have for the courthouse. Talks about the business establishment for essential businesses to remain open. The things that we are required, or things that we would need during this declaration, like gas, food, and those types of businesses that provide some type of service for our citizens. They are to remain open, but they have to follow the guidelines set forth about the social distancing of their employees and things like that. Also, section in here deals with the recommendation for restaurants about eating and dining establishments where food served. Like I said, pretty much everybody that I can think of that has a drive-through or takeout or delivery service, they're doing that. They've closed their dining rooms. There's maybe a restaurant or two that has still been doing that, but after this declaration today, when it's signed, then that should become, it should cease. Also, the section that deals with the worship services, we talk about the churches, and about them abiding by the 10-person rule, or the large gathering rule, limiting their space, and also be able to not prohibit them from doing any kind of live streaming or other forms of that they can get message out to their congregation, whether it's a small group, somebody meeting in the house, things like that. And still do those things, but no more than 10 people. So that piece is in there. Let's see. Section talks about the Ware County government will remain open, operational, however, limited because of the spread of the virus. Every public access would be locked or unlocked upon schedules. If somebody calls, made an appointment, I need to see somebody, they make an appointment with that person, and that person meets them and carries on their business. Let's see. The services, like we talked about, essential services of the county is addressed in here. Those services that need to be open, that allows them to be open to continue serving our community. And all this is subject to your approval, and then as guidelines from our governor brings forth to our counties, we're following the guidelines that he has set. And I think today he extended our schools to April 24th, and so that this would coincide with that until such time as state of emergency is terminated, or if it can be done early, we can do that, or through the duration of termination that the governor has set forth. That pretty much sums up the declaration, and this time I'll just ask if you have any questions.
This declaration, if adopted, would cover the incorporated areas of Ware County and the unincorporated areas of Ware County, correct?
This covers, yes, it does. The city is doing a similar resolution this afternoon, doing state of emergency for inside the city. They have some things that they want to address that really doesn't apply in the county, and And so they want to spell that out in the declaration, that's coming from the city.
Right.
And that will be done, subject to the commission, county commission approving this.
So this, the county commission has to adopt, declare a state of emergency before the city can actually adopt one for the city.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. That's all.
Yeah.
George, that's section 10, what is that?
That's just on the constitutional laws.
Yeah, that's what, yes, that covers the constitutional officers, if they have to, if they are affected by this and they're taken out of their job, then somebody can come in to be able to, continue that service of our constitutional officers. And that, this provision gives them the ability to do that.
First, all of them got a chief anyway.
Yes, or either a deputy or a chief or somebody that they can, turn that over to.
Because there's certain county offices, constitutional officers that have to stay open. Yeah, by state law.
Chairman. Yes, sir, go
Yes.
ahead, Commissioner Burke.
Yes, Jonathan, I think something needs to be stressed to it. This is not a mandate. This is only a recommendation. And, we're hoping people will comply, with the recommendation because, as quiet as kept, a lot of people are passing away from this disease and it having an impact in our community as hard as it has in others. But, I think at this time right now, it's maybe like 1,100 people in the U.S. have passed from this disease, virus. State of Georgia is being hit pretty hard, so this is something that we would hope that the citizens would really take to heart. And, this is something that comes down from the CDC, and so it's nothing new, it's nothing that I don't think we really take a lot of pleasure in doing this.
Right.
But it's one of the necessary things we have to do. And also, I guess on the 8 and 9, dealing with the, restaurants, which I think that's been addressed pretty well, because even if the people come in to order, right now we're saying we're restricting that way you really can't even come into the restaurant, either call in or go through the drive-thru and then they can bring it out to you.
Or curbside or delivery.
Dealing with the worship services, could you elaborate just a little bit more on that? I read it 2 or 3 times, but basically saying that no more than 10 people, in regards to the side with.
Yes, sir, and that's following the CDC recommendations, guidelines that they set forth, no more than 10 person in any one, gathering, unless they can provide the 6-foot distance from each other.
Okay.
And that addresses, I believe that's in there.
Okay, that's the thing that I was trying to really get some clarity on, because if you have an edifice,
Right.
well, a structure of the magnitude where you can't have the 6-foot social distance, you can't have more than.
If your building can accommodate, just like we're here today.
Right.
If you had, your church was this big and you may run, say, 100 people, but you can only get about what you see here today inside of, based on the social distance
Right.
recommendations.
Okay.
They can still do that, with this, and they can, I don't know if anybody is doing that per se. Most everybody either went to some type of live streaming,
Okay.
or they've canceled and they're doing smaller things in smaller groups.
Because, when someone read this, they may just, a layperson may say, well, you can't have no more than 10 people, but really you can have more,
You can, if
but you gotta have 6-foot.
Based on your square footage of your
Right.
facility.
That's correct, yeah.
As long as you sustain that 6 foot plus,
All right.
minimum 6 feet.
Right. I think also this is something that we want to be, as a county in the city, want to be proactive rather than reactive, because I'd rather say, well, we did this and did anything happen, than to be able to say, we did this, and as a result of this, a lot of things didn't happen.
And one thing that point out too is that as we move forward, I pray we don't have any more cases than what we've got already, but as we move forward, if that becomes an issue for our community, this commission can come back and amend this this declaration to entail more finite details of what we need to do in our community. I was telling Scott earlier, I get to see everybody's, declarations that all over the state of Georgia that they write, and I get to read them, and I was telling him, I've seen some counties that had amended their declarations 2 and 3 and 4 times because things had changed from the first time they did a declaration until the current day. So there's nothing in this that permits the commission from coming back and amending this to add other things to it.
Well, that was a question I was gonna ask, and you just answered it.
Yes.
So this can be amended.
Sure. Yeah.
At the discretion of this commission.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions?
The other day in the city's meeting, they were talking about doing curfew.
Yes.
Are they still talking about that?
Far as I know, they are.
Yeah, they are. I don't know what the final outcome is, cause they haven't passed theirs yet. I know they're supposed to do it this afternoon, so, but they were talking about, imposing a curfew.
I think that was 10 to 6,
10 to
5,
6.
10 to 5 a.m., 10 to 6 a.m.
10
p.m. to 5 or 6 a.m. So,
And then some were asking for 11 to 5 or 6 a.m.
yeah, most of the,
Now, the detail, in what way? People walk on the street?
yeah.
Detail,
They're subject
what
to,
you got
it once it's passed,
Still being 5 o'clock in the morning in your bed.
city fire.
Well, it's essential if you're going to work, if you're not able to work from home, but you have to go into
Yeah.
work, that's okay. But if you're just out loitering and
Yeah.
hanging out, you know, those kind of things,
Can't do
basically.
that.
And that's only in the city.
Only in the city.
You know, we talked to the sheriff about with that in ours, and he just, our county is so big, there's really no way to. And I think most people are adhering to it anyhow, because once the restaurants close they close about 9 or 10 o'clock, most of them do. And after that, nobody else out there much. All the stores are already closed, restaurants are closed, others. Walmart, a big thing, closes at 8:30, that's even before the restaurants close. So after that, there's really not much folks out there. With that, and talking with the sheriff, I don't think it's necessary in the county.
Yeah.
To put that in. But at some time, if it gets, like I said, if it gets worse than what we got, we can go back, we can put that in there and say, yeah, we're gonna have to do this.
Okay, any more questions? We're gonna have a motion of
Chair, over we approve this motion,
Okay,
approve this declaration.
okay, I've got a motion by Commissioner Burris, do I have a second?
Second.
I've got a motion and a second, any further questions for our EMA director or manager on this resolution? Hearing none, again, a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner, Pope, Commissioner Burris, Commissioner, Steve Barner, and Chair votes aye. All right.
And the other item that we have is that, and like I said, it was a mistake on my part, is resolution 2020-07. It's a resolution to waive certain penalties and interest, for the Ware County Tax Commissioner, and I know that, Mr. Collins is here to speak to this. This is another, instrument that other counties are using throughout Georgia during this time period.
Good afternoon, I'm not gonna touch the podium since Jonathan's not there. So, what this is, around the state, since, we've got, more specifically Ware County, we closed the lobby, we use the drive-through, we don't have a drop box. I did order it today, it's gonna be in a few weeks, we got a rush on it, and it's gonna actually, since this emergency thing, is going into effect, it'll actually be able to be utilized by everybody in the building. I'll collect everything and separate it and get it to the departments that need. We have a mobile home deadline on April 1st. And what we're looking at, since the governor's actually sent down before this, motor vehicle, instructions about registrations. If your registration falls between March 16th and May 15th, or May 14th, that you have until May 15th to get your registration. That you won't get a ticket. I've already forwarded this to the sheriff and to the police chief. The tickets, you can say you won't get a ticket, there won't be any late fees or penalties on that. Casual sales between the vehicle, from person to person on vehicles, there's not gonna be any penalties on that until May 15th. So anything from March 14th or March 16th through May 14th is going to be, it doesn't matter how long it is, there will be no penalties or interest on that. On a person-to-person sale, that's a 7-day, you have 7 days to register to get it in your hand. The dealers do not have this luxury because the dealers, they have to submit, most of them submit it through electronic vendors, so that gets processed through. So that, it will not affect. So looking back to property taxes, with the office being closed and a few things that we got going on, we got the drive-through, it's been nonstop. But we're still not getting, everybody's still not gonna be able to come out. When they stay home, they're not gonna have the money. So what this is gonna do, it's gonna halt penalties and interest. So everything that was done on real property as of March will stay that way until actually June. Because the date on this, the May 16th day, that's when interest and penalties keep accruing on the 16th of the month. So it includes the 16th, so then that actually will not go into effect until June. So we're giving this period of time to come in and pay the taxes, especially the ones that have been out, that's been out of work for a while. So that's it in a nutshell. If you have any questions. Okay. Like I said, we will have a drop box. It's gonna take a few weeks. They're making it, it's gonna be shipped down. And we're gonna place it out here in the, it's gonna be a curbside pull up in the back parking lot. And that will actually, it's anybody, whether it come to pay the occupational taxes, we've already got them dropping off through the drive-through already. They'll be able to put them into that box and I'll empty it out and bring it and separate it. Everybody that's inside here, so it won't be an issue. That'll even cut down foot traffic into the building. So if y'all have any questions?
Okay, we need any questions? Need a motion to approve this resolution.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2020-07.
Okay, we got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second by Commissioner Burris. Any further questions on this resolution? Carried none. Again, with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Burris.
Aye.
Commissioner Pope.
Aye.
Commissioner Barner. And the chair votes aye. All right, that concludes our order of business, Mr. Manager.
Do you still want to, if we could have a quick executive session, that would be okay with the commission?
Need a motion for the executive session to.
Personnel, I'm sorry, personnel.
Okay, got a motion. All right, we'll retire to the, run the rest of the executive session, and then we'll come back. Close the meeting. Thank all of you for coming. If you wanna stay a few minutes, you can do that too.